He's the closest humanity has ever come to perfection. Not only a movie star, but a father, a health enthusiast, a motivational speaker, a singer, and most amazing of all, a genuinely nice guy. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has gone from WWE superstar to international A-lister. But to fuel all his beefy manliness, he needs a massive amount of food. Today, Brainiacs, we are taking a look at The Rock's diet and discussing how your body would respond if you suddenly ate like Mr. Johnson for an entire week. Looks like today you really will smell what The Rock is cooking. Literally. This man is truly one of a kind and considered one of the hardest working people in not only Hollywood, but the world. But before we break down exactly what this living legend eats in an average week, let's talk stats. Just how tall is Dwayne Johnson? What about weight? How much can he bench? The Rock is a huge dude, clocking in at 6'5" and 260 pounds. Believe it or not, Mr. Johnson is 48 years old, and he's still crushing it at the gym 5 days a week. But let's put his weight into perspective for you. The National Institute of Health says that a healthy weight for someone at a similar height is 156 to 197 pounds. And if you want the national average for The Rock's current age group, well, it's right at about 200 pounds. So yeah, this man is huge. But here's the thing, The Rock is pure muscle and has an incredibly low body fat percentage. Most reports put him at a lean 10.5%. As for how much can he bench? Well, his max weight, he doesn't share. Probably because he's asked it 100 times a day. But he has posted on his Instagram that his standard reps for when working out his chest are 275 pounds, 5 half reps, 10 full reps with 2-second pauses at the bottom. That's insane. Now, before you start feeling like you aren't worthy to be around his greatness, remember that he has been into fitness since he was 14 years old. He has said that during this time, his family was evicted from their home. He had nothing else in his control but his ability to keep himself physically and mentally strong. In fact, he posted about this time period and why he started exercising on Facebook. He said, "I really hated that feeling of helplessness and never wanted that to happen again. So I did the only thing I could control with my own 2 hands in hopes that one day my family would never worry about being evicted again. I trained." Talk about being in a tough situation and turning it into something good. But long before his movies started making billions of dollars, in fact a total of $10 billion worldwide when it's all said and done, The Rock started out playing college football at the University of Miami as a defensive tackle. No surprise there, huh? But he decided to take after his father, who was also a pro wrestler. And after school, he went on to star in the WWE. "Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?" became a nationally known catchphrase. And when he made the switch to movies with 2001's The Mummy Returns, he hasn't slowed down since. In fact, he has made at least one movie every year since 2001. This man cannot be stopped. But now we get to the science behind this man of muscle. What fuels his non-stop determination? Literally. What does Dwayne Johnson eat to keep himself not only fit, but huge? And what would happen if we, as mere mortals, tried to eat like him for 1 week? Get the hot sauce out, because it's time to talk a lot of food. Here's the stats. The Rock will eat around 5,000 calories a day. And if he's training super hard for a role, he will up that intake to as high as 6,000 calories a day. This is no small potatoes, Brainiacs. In fact, it's a lot of potatoes, and fish, and eggs, and steak, and, well, you get the idea. To reach this kind of intake, The Rock will eat 7 full meals each day, each with varying degrees of calories, proteins, and fats, but the main takeaway is that he is constantly eating. One of his favorite foods is cod, which is a fish that is particularly high in protein, and he will usually eat about 2.3 pounds of cod with a grand total of about 10 pounds of food each day. In a year, The Rock eats about 1/3 of a ton of cod. Here's the thing, all this eating ain't cheap. When you break it down, this kind of diet is extremely expensive. You're looking at about $42 per day spent on food, which comes to just about $1,300 each month, solely spent on your diet. And this doesn't take into account meal prep. If you're gonna eat this way, you gotta prepare for it. Otherwise, each and every one of those 7 meals a day are going to come with extra time where you're in the kitchen cooking. To continue to live a normal life where you go to work, hang with friends, and, oh right, go to the gym to burn off these calories, you should expect about an hour and a half of meal prep every 2 to 3 days, and you're going to be making 30 pounds of food. Here's the other thing you should be ready for when shifting to this kind of extreme calorie intake. You're going to spend a lot of time just eating the food. If we do the math and say that each of your 7 daily meals takes about 20 minutes to eat, that means that 2 hours and 20 minutes of your day will be spent simply shoveling food into your mouth. We're talking just getting the calories into your system. Who'd have thought that eating would take this kind of discipline? So, what are the effects of such an extreme diet change? Well, first, let's also assume that you are a gym rat and are able to burn off these calories in a healthy, productive way, because if we're being honest, you very well could get yourself very sick if you scarf down this amount of food into your system out of nowhere. Weight gain from when you eat in excess begins only after a few days of overeating, and your body will work overtime to try and break down all that food. This can cause extreme drowsiness and can even lead to damage in organs like your stomach, which will start to expand and will produce more hydrochloric acid to break down the food. When there's more of this acid, there's more of a chance for heartburn, and that's not fun. But let's say you've been training and preparing for this kind of calorie intake. The truth is, you may find that this kind of high-protein diet spread throughout your day makes you feel fantastic. In fact, a man named Mark Webster decided to try the legendary Dwayne Johnson diet for a month, and his results were astounding. Webster took all the necessary steps so that he was ready for it. He was an avid gym goer and planned out all his meals for this experiment. But boy, was it worth it. He found that he didn't gain any weight. In fact, he found that his weight stayed the same, but his muscle mass greatly increased. Webster reported that at the beginning of the month, he was bench pressing 115, and at the end, 150. He also said that minor aches and pains in his body went away, and his resting heart rate even went down 4 beats per minute. He also saw an increase in his leg workouts, from 180-pound leg presses to 240. Now, while Webster experimented over a full month, it's safe to say that over a week, you would find that you had more energy, are able to perform better at the gym, and you may even slightly gain muscle mass and burn off some unwanted fat. But if you want results like Webster, stick with it. Transforming your body takes time and discipline, but with a diet like this, you'll be able to do it. Wow, I mean, all in all, it almost seems too good to be true. Wait. But this kind of diet means there's no time for any sweets or anything fun at all, right? After all, there's a rumor that The Rock hasn't eaten a single piece of candy since 1989, and that doesn't sound like a life worth living to us. Oh wait, The Rock loves treats. And while it may be true about the candy, it certainly ain't true that he will never wolf down a huge pile of his favorite meal, banana pancakes. Just take a look at his Instagram. One of Johnson's favorite mantras is, "Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself." And he means it. He has posted pictures of eating 5 banana pancakes, and sometimes even more, at a time, slathered with peanut butter and syrup. Here's the thing, The Rock will eat like this only on his cheat day, which is a term anyone who has dieted to build muscle will be familiar with. Essentially, one day of the week you can eat whatever you want, and this upping of calories will kickstart your metabolism and give you energy for the upcoming week. The Rock may be on a strict diet Sunday through Friday, but come Saturday, oh boy, he holds nothing back and will absolutely make time for his favorite meal, that big old stack of banana pancakes. So, what's the main takeaway from learning the science of The Rock's diet? Well, not only would it be expensive, but it would be a lot of work to keep up. However, if you made sure to plan ahead and get yourself a strict exercise routine, it wouldn't be the worst thing for you. In fact, we'd even venture to say if you stuck to this insane diet and exercise routine, you'd feel and look better than you ever have in your entire life. It just goes to show, there's nothing wrong with wolfing down 5 banana pancakes, as long as you only do it on your cheat day and keep exercising. See you next time, Brainiacs!